Hey everyone, Metagross Freak here, and I just did my crowning moments of awesome video. So now it's time for epic moments of fail. Um, so just like how everyone has those big D&D Pathfinder moments that they're so proud of, like blowing up a castle. Everyone has moments that just like, ah, moments where they either fail so hard that they wish they never happened, or moments where they don't want to look back on because they were just so shameful. And for me, it's kind of a little bit of both. So my character in our campaign is a crow shaman, which is a subclass of druid. And one of my main abilities is totemic transformation, which basically lets me turn into a giant bird creature. If you're familiar with Swain from League of Legends, it's basically like that. So we're doing a stakeout, and we're in kind of this slummy area, and my party is all spread out. We're all keeping lookout for this guy, who we don't know what he looks like, but we know that basically he's like one of the richer people in the area, and we also know that he's been doing kind of some shady business. So we're all keeping a lookout, seeing if look out for this guy. Now with because I'm because I put a lot of my skill point into perception. I basically get a plus perception roll of 8. And here I am getting like a 17 on my perception roll looking for this guy. And my DM, Nolan, is basically like, you see the mark, and he's pretty dang close to you. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to do this. Um, so I go full stupid right then, and I go, I'm going to turn into a giant bird and, bum rush him. And my DM's like, okay. So, I rolled a transform, and I was hiding in a box, and I basically just go, caw, 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 and I start rushing at him. Basically these giant birds just swooping in at him, screaming, caw, 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 with my talons out. And this guy pulls probably the best move possible when you're in the slums. He grabs orphans and starts chucking orphans in the way as he's running away from me. He's like, there's a bunch of orphans in the street. He's throwing the orphans in the middle of the street. That way I have to go through them. And I basically have retconned it that I have two personalities. There's the more logical version of me, which is when I'm in the human druid form, and there's a more impulsive version of me, which is when I'm in the bird form. And so in the bird form, I'm not thinking about weaving around children or anything. I'm here, he's there. How can I get there as fast as possible? So I'm mauling children, just goring them with my talons to get to this guy. And unfortunately, the children end up slowing me down enough that he ends up getting away. Um, we ended up finding him again later, and it ended up turning out that that wasn't the Mark. It was literally just a guy named Mark. So that was my epic moment to fail. Not something I'm proud of at all. It's hilarious, but not something I'm proud of. Another quick story would be we're on an airship, and one of our players has died 6 times, and every time he respawns. But when he's in the void, which is kind of like purgatory, we unlock a little bit of backstory, and he's like, we're not progressing very much because we're just on an airship waiting to get to a place. I want to hear some backstory. So he willingly jumps off the boat to kill himself, and I'm like, you idiot! I'll try to save you. Okay, so I use cloud. I try to use one of my cloud walk spells. So basically, instead of falling to his death, he'll just be floating in the air. And I fail it. And as he's falling down, he's like, yeah! And he hits the ground so hard that he turns into a puddle of blood. and he ended up respawning in a prison, in the prison of the castle we were going to. So yeah, those are some epic moments of fail. Leave yours in the comments below, and I love to see basically just how much your DM likes screwing with you. Until next time, I'm Metagross Freak, and have a good one.